Well, across the country, Democrats have been pushing for abortion to the moment of birth. We're not making that up. It's hard to miss. But when the Daily Caller's Henry Rogers asked members of Congress about Governor Northam and his defense of infanticide, they pleaded total ignorance of it. Watch this.
Do you agree with Governor Northam's comments yesterday about long-term abortion?
I have no idea what he said. I have no idea what's happened there.
Do you agree with Governor Northam's late-term abortion comments he made yesterday?
I don't know what he said.
You have no idea what he said?
I don't know.
Senator, did you happen to agree with Governor Northam's comments about abortion, late-term abortion yesterday?
I have not seen anything.
You've not heard about it?
I've been in retreats.
They must have been Zen Buddhist retreats, silent retreats in Big Sur or something. It's unbelievable. Lie. Nancy Pelosi said she had no idea either. Watch this.
Considering the comments from Governor Northam yesterday, how does that make it harder for pro-life Democrats in the party? Does that cause problems at all?
I'm sorry, I just don't know what he said yesterday.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't have internet access. If only Ralph Northam had said that he wanted doctors to wear blackface while committing infanticide, that would have gotten some attention. Abby Johnson is a former Planned Parenthood director. She's now a pro-life activist, and she joins us tonight. Abby, thanks very much for coming on. It's so interesting how an entire party can push a policy position and then refuse to talk about it, much less debate it. Why not just say, yeah, we're for this?
Well, I mean, they're lying. Look, they've all seen the clip. Yeah. They all know what he said. But I think even now, pro-choice Democrats are going, is that a little too far? We don't know. Do we support this guy? Do we not? Because it's so extreme. I mean, even pro-choicers on social media are saying, wait a minute, what are we talking about here? So I think even people in their own party they don't even know how to defend this.
It's completely extreme, but it's not necessarily a surprise. I mean, Professor Singer at Princeton, who's a leading ethicist, has been pushing for infanticide for a long time, and he hasn't been drummed out of academia. And some of these bills, the one in New York, pending in Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, I mean, they all sort of say the same thing, which is that viability means nothing at all.
Yeah, and even the one in Vermont is so extreme. I mean, at least in some of these other states, we have the lie of the health of the mother, which basically means anything. But at least you have to give some sort of excuse. But in Vermont, we're talking about elective abortion through the date of birth. So we're talking about if the woman is laboring with her baby and she decides right before the baby is about to come out, you know what, I don't think I want to do this anymore, then the doctor or whoever has the ability to take the life of that baby. And when you look at what Governor Northam said, what does that mean exactly? So the baby is born alive, and then what? The parents get to decide what's going to happen to the baby. So what does that mean? Yeah. Do we starve the baby to death? Do we suffocate the baby? We don't know what that means. And it's insane that a pediatric neurosurgeon is actually championing these sorts of bills.
I guess what bothers me most is that there's no public conversation about this. And I do think, as you just said, that a lot of people who think of themselves as pro-choice and don't want the government to get involved, and I don't agree with that personally, but I understand where they're coming from. I don't think they're bad people. I think this is just so far, too far. I don't think anybody in America supports this stuff, and yet most people don't even know it's happening because there's no conversation about it.
Yeah, and honestly, this is not new. Colorado, there is a doctor in Boulder, Colorado, Dr. Warren Hearn, that has been aborting babies up until the date of birth for any reason for many, many years. It's happening in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's happening in Maryland. This has been happening, but I'm really thankful that now we sort of have a national platform to be talking about these issues, that it is happening. It's not just happening to babies who have terminal illnesses. Late-term abortions are happening on live, healthy, viable babies.
Yeah. Well, I think pro-lifers need to start saying that those babies are here illegally, and then maybe Gavin Newsom will ride to their rescue, chain himself to a Planned Parenthood door or something like that. Probably would. Abby, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.